One of the questions asked most often to me is, how do I turn around so fast? There are many who feel that it takes years, like a TKM journey, TPM journey, or Six Sigma. All of them take years, 3 years plus. How is it that all the turnaround which I have done have taken 6 to 18 months without any exception? And across 8 industries, it's not that I am repeating work in an industry. I've never repeated. For this, first let us understand what we mean by a turnaround. Then we understand after this that we have understood what actually leads to the problems. And then we see how to engage people and how do I do things differently. A turnaround is actually when you reverse the direction. A company may be in losses, maybe in less profits compared to the competition, and they're into price wars. So that is a stage of survival. How do we move from that stage of survival to a stage of stability? When they say, okay, these small things are taken care of, we are working, the systems are stable, people are working. From that stage of stability, we move to a stage of dominance. How does that happen? For example, you are in losses because perhaps your losses, your wastages, your material, several things are an issue and performing much less than the industry. If you work on them and you do them better, point one, people who were not able to engage and give results, you are able to engage with people and they get the best results. The resources you were working on, there were a lot of less utilization or wastage, you are able to make them better. You become a benchmark in each of them. And then from survival to stabilization to dominance. A turnaround is always from one negative to the best positive. If that is a turnaround, now we see what are the things which lead to this possibility that one is slipping down. One thing which I've seen in very common is system failure always precedes the financial failure. I have given an example several times, you might have seen in other reels. Just like a vehicle starts with the first gear, then as the speed picks up, we have to change to a different gear, then to third, then to fourth, then to fifth. That means depending on the complexity, we simplify things and then we move on. It's also like our human beings. Childhood to adolescence to youth to middle age to maturity. At every stage we do things differently. Same has to be done in organizations. If we do not dare to do that in systems, our financial failure happens. But what leads to system failure? Think. System collapse happens when the culture collapses. Why does culture collapse? Because this is what I say. Systems are needed for the company to run. People are needed to run the systems and people are needed to run people. This third line is the critical one. I start on this line. When I start a work with the team, I understand who are the people engaged, who are the people in the whole ecosystem. From their perspective, how do they see the systems are running, not on what paper is saying. How do they see the limits have been defined, the boundaries, the possibilities, how do they see them? Several times I've seen there is some learned helplessness. This sir doesn't work. Ma'am, this doesn't happen this way. So many things that this has never worked. It used to work earlier, now it doesn't work. They can do it, we cannot. And then you understand when they talk about decisions, when they talk about what slows them. Oh, this we could have done so much, but it doesn't happen this way. This transition between shifts happens, but it doesn't happen this way. What slows them? What holds up decisions? What causes conflicts between them? What causes them not to take ownership of the decision? Why does everybody, different department own their turf rather than working together hand in hand? When I understand from their perspective, then I get a different perspective which I actually wanted to see from the down below and top below. This is how the systems are actually working in the foundation. So I work on systems that drive the systems, and that is people. With this understanding, not just like a domino effect. One falls, the smaller, 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 all of them fall. So I have to identify which is the domino idea, which they feel is not possible. And we do that very fast. And with that, faith comes in. Their trust comes in. They start now not working in fear. They know that it will get done. They work in trust and they work in curiosity. Let us do. Some people give ideas, some people execute ideas. Some people do both. But all of them have to align. It's not departmental boundaries. It's end to end. When this starts happening, a different sort of enablement of the system start to happen. And this is what we mean by shifting of gears. When I start focusing on building the capability of the people, I am not getting the best talent. Just imagine, if we were to get maximum money from outside, can we recover? No. There are companies who take loans and then loans to repay the loans. With money, it is very difficult to bounce back. If they go in for capital investment or hire better technology, again, it is not an answer. I have worked in a Japanese joint venture which had the best of the infrastructure and their management pool. They were in losses for 8 years and it took us again 8 months to recover. It was not technology. It is not technology. It is not the people. That if you get the best talent from industry, they will work. It is how I has explained how the systems beneath are driving the systems, how the people who are running the people, how they're working on the systems. Once you understand those limits, once you understand those boundaries, then work starts to happen. Think. I'm not saying something which is very complex. I'm not saying something which is different. But sometimes we feel it's not possible. And I say it is effortless. These turnarounds become effortless when we put in the right amount of effort. Less effort doesn't become effortless at the end. It's a right effort at the right time, in the right manner, engaging everybody together, which makes it effortless journey from stability to dominance. This is what makes a difference. Think. It's not the people, it's not their talent. In one of the companies, I was working with the systems and we grew from 300 crores to 1000 crores in 4 years, from 1000 to 6500 crores in 5 years. How? We deployed SAP and I got about, I think, 35 people from across about, say, 35 units of the group. I got average people from, because nobody wanted to give their best. Nobody wanted to give their heroes. But when we started to work aligned, then within 3 years, we started to get results. We had 4 national awards. Our units got several customer awards. And our team, most of us, landed up from being an average to very good and outstanding. There was a time we had a unit rating system in best of the units, best of the teams were rewarded. For 3 consecutive terms, we were the highest rated ones. How? Because I worked on people working on the people. When we deployed the systems, we again said that systems will get deployed when we work with those people who are working on the systems. And we got the results. I have seen companies grow from 300 to 6500, 11 years. 150 or 200 crores to more than double in just 2 years. I have seen companies slip from 6500 crores to nothing. Because certain things, when they fail and we don't take the right measures at the right time. It's a journey of complicated when we don't know what is happening. To understand what is complex, this impacts this impacts that impacts this. When we talk about people understanding perspectives. From once you understand what is complex relationships, then you start working one by one. And that is where I said the domino card. You make it simple. So this journey putting an effort to understand the systems, making people understand the systems, people working on people, and simplifying. And then the journey towards dominance is smooth. And everybody is engaged in the right aligned direction. That is the essence. And speed with which everybody can go along. Without fear, with curiosity. This is, I think, the common pattern across all the turnarounds. Do you need a turnaround? I'm not talking about cost reduction. Dominance. What are you focusing on? Money, capex, technology, or understanding your people? Think. I'll share several case studies. I keep doing, but I have got a conviction of last 30 years. Started with McKinsey in 97. The steel authority business turnaround. I have done across businesses, across industry sectors, different sizes by now. And this truly works. All the best.